personally. I can live with that.
Okay, we'll call to order tonight's Committee of the Whole for the Auburn City Council meeting for October the 3rd, 2023. The City Council should have the minutes from the Committee of the Whole from September the 19th. Are there any additions or corrections to those minutes? If not, is there a move to approve?
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And the minutes are carried forth. Questions on tonight's agenda for the city manager? Any questions? I know she's got a couple things for us. Anybody on the dais have a question? Okay, please go ahead.
Well, those minutes are the minutes that, the new minutes, correct?
Yeah, I can go over in detail when you're ready.
Yeah, that'd be great. Thank you.
Okay, go ahead.
All right, so there's some items sitting on the dais in front of you, one of which is revised minutes from your regular meeting called on September 19th. And the three minor changes are that, one, we needed to put an accurate date at the top of the minutes. And 2 and 3, items 9B1, a Reeves property rezoning, and 9B2, a Moore's Mill rezoning. We're just clarifying that the ordinance was introduced and postponed October 17th. What's key about that is that's making it clear that first reading has already occurred. So that's why the change. And again, initiated by me. I got a comment from Councilman Koblenz just asking, hey, is this stated right? And he's accurate in saying that, and that's something that we should have been clearer on. And then just for everybody who has this on their agenda in the room, item 8D4, which is a John Deere tractor purchase, where staff, I am removing that from the agenda. That'll come back to you at another time. We just need to work through a few things internally. We had some questions that we needed to get answered. And that was a budgeted purchase. And then last, we do have one other item of business that's also sitting before you on the dais. That'll be item 11A, and that's a change to an original ABC license, alcohol beverage control license that was approved for Cafe Duval, doing business as a corner office. That's at 570 Duval Drive, and they're switching from a license you approved in September 5th to beer and wine to what they call a special license, and that'll be beer, wine, and liquor. They cater in the building in which they're in, and this is for their current restaurant space plus a bigger conference space across the hallway, and so they need to change that. They have a ton of events that they are doing, and the request is that they also serve liquor. This license is only good for that building and those particular suites listed.
So this would preclude the one we approved
Correct,
earlier.
and they never actually pulled that license. So what gets confusing in these buildings is there's suites, and then you have another agenda item tonight for the very same entity that they're dealing with a special event on October 20th, and that is on the 5th floor of that building, so they have to pull a separate event license because it's in a different location, even though it's at the same address. It's by suite number and other things, so happy to walk you through that if there's any confusion.
Okay, that's item 11A.
Yes.
Okay, all right. Any questions on these updates for the city manager? Okay, is there a move to adjourn the Committee of the Whole?
So moved.
All right, we are adjourned, and we'll get started with the regular meeting in a little over a minute. Okay, we'll call to order tonight's Auburn City Council meeting for October the 3rd, 2023. We certainly welcome all of you that are with us tonight. We welcome everybody that's listening on WANI and watching through our YouTube and Facebook. Lindsay, with a roll call?
Adams.
Here.
Koblenz.
Here.
Dawson.
Here.
Griswold.
Here.
Mormon.
Here.
Parsons.
Here.
Taylor.
Here.
Witten.
Here.
Here. Would you please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance and then remain standing for a moment of silence? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please be seated. It's the first meeting of the month, so we'll begin by recognizing our outstanding employee of the month, as well as other recognitions of our staff.
We're proud to introduce you to our October Auburn City Employee of the Month, and I have a memorandum here written by Tyler Witten, our Library Director, to Chantel Bennett, Training and Organization Development Manager. Kimberly Hudson began her career with the Auburn Public Library in August of 2016, bringing a strong background in customer service to her role as Library Assistant in the Public Services Division, which provides a variety of services to patrons through 4 help desks around the library. In the computer lab, Kim demonstrates outstanding dedication to service when assisting patrons with resumes, job searching, and faxing, and she brings a wealth of knowledge to service at the children's desk, assisting families with finding materials that meet their needs. Through service at the front desk and reference, Kim consistently provides great experiences with services such as curbside pickup and patron request, being a valued member of the public-facing team who greets over 12,000 visitors the library welcomes each month. This spring, the library updated its email notice system, the main way the library communicates with library card holders about materials they have checked out and placed on hold for future checkouts. And Kim agreed to take the lead for the design work on this project without hesitation. In August, she agreed again to take on another big project by designing the library's search page to include showcases of books and materials. Kim's remarkable work in graphic design, specifically her efforts with the library's new email system and new search page design feature, have been instrumental in enhancing the visual appeal and user experience of our library's communications. Kim's contributions to library user experience through professional excellence, service, and willingness to take on other special projects make her a true asset to our team. Congratulations, Kim. Thank you for your hard work.
Okay, thank you, and congratulations again to Kim for her outstanding work, and we're proud to recognize you as our Employee of the Month. Under the Committee of the Whole, earlier this evening, we did have some adaptations to our minutes that were corrected from last meeting. We had one item that was added to our agenda tonight, which will be item 11A, and we had one item removed from our agenda tonight, which is item 8D4. 8D4, okay? All right, so we'll get into the mayor's comments real quick, and I do have a number of things, so please be patient with me. This week is the conclusion of this class of Citizen Academy participants. I want to tell all of our staff, and specifically Allison Blankenship, thank you for what you do to allow our citizens a behind the curtain look at what goes on in the city, how we operate, what do we do, the decisions we make. And we hope that that allows them to have a better understanding of the town that they live in, a better appreciation for all the good work that is done here. But certainly, Allison, I appreciate everything you did to take ownership of that program. Speaking of opportunity to meet our great employees, Coffee with a Cop will happen this week on Thursday at 9 o'clock right across the street at Ross House. It's a very casual time for people that live in Auburn to go and interact with our police officers who do a fantastic job keeping us safe each and every day. It's a very casual time, a very easy time just to have conversation. And I encourage those who are interested in getting to know those people who step out on the line for all of us every day a little bit better. Operation Community is next week over at the Auburn Housing Authority on October the 12th. I hope all of us on the dais will take a chance to be there if our schedules allow. It's just a celebration of all good things that are going on over there. I want to thank AYP, Auburn Young Professionals, from the Auburn Chamber of Commerce for hosting a breakfast this morning for the City Council. About half of us were there, and it was a great opportunity to meet and talk with about 30 young professionals that have chosen Auburn as their place to do life and to start their business career, and it was a very productive day, and I appreciate that. Household Hazardous Waste Collection Day. I love to talk about this because I've participated a couple times, and if you got extra cans of paint and things you don't know what to do with, and you've been told ad nauseum not to dump it on the ground or dump it in the drain or dump it in your kitchen, this is the time for you to take it over to the Household Hazardous Waste Collection Day. Katrina, your staff does a fantastic job. It is so well organized. They're so ready for you to show up. They have got you going in a flow. It doesn't take a long time to get in and out of there. So please dispose of those things that are dangerous the appropriate way. Dispose them at this day that we'll be hosting. There's so many things that go on and we really make our community unique during the holiday seasons, and certainly Halloween is a holiday that many people do things about, and Auburn has got some very unique opportunities. I just list them really quick. Our Pine Hill Cemetery Tour will be taking place this month. What an interesting way for those of you who want to learn about the community you live in. Many of the people whose names are on roads and names are on buildings that have taken a part of growing this community and being part of its history are buried there, and I encourage you to go and learn about that unique history at that event. The Crab Preserve has a couple of different events, the Enchanted Forest and the Nature Nightmares that'll be going on out there later on this month, and I applaud their staff. They're always creative and thinking of things to do. Our library staff has got 6 different activities that you can find, I'm sure, on their website for you and your children to be involved with. And then, of course, Downtown Trick or Treat on the 31st is always a great event. So a lot of good things going on the next month. Remember to be careful as you're traveling around. Last week, I was able to go and visit with the Auburn High School Student Council, and we're going to try to do that a couple more times for the first of the year. What a great group of about 15 young people representing 10th through 12th grade, including the daughter of our own Mayor Pro Tem, Beth Whitten. But just talking to them about their perspective of city government and some of the things that they've seen in Auburn, they'd like to see in Auburn, and I look forward to continuing to enriching and developing that relationship with those young people later on this year. Recently, the Alabama Association of CPAs hosted their bankers and attorneys social hour, and I was invited to come and speak to them about what's going on in Auburn, and I appreciate all their work in allowing me to do that. And next week, I get to go over as a member of the Big Ten Mayors. We're going to be a part of a panel with the new Leadership Alabama class to talk about municipal government and what goes on in leading our communities. And then finally, this Friday night's the biggest high school game of the year. It's Auburn versus Opelika. Hope all of us in Auburn will encourage our young men as they get ready to go play the Bulldogs, and hopefully we'll win this year and beat Opelika. Anyone else have an announcement they'd like to make? Sorry I took up all their time. Okay, there's no other announcements. We'll go into Auburn University Communications.
Good afternoon, y'all.
Good afternoon.
It was a busy week for Auburn students. Had a lot going on. The 30th annual Beat Bama Food Drive started off with an event called Dunk on Hunger last week on the concourse. Well-Read Coffee House and Bookstore has been having a lot of events. Last week on Monday, they hosted the UPC Weagle and Circle for an open mic night that they handed out drinks to everybody. It was a really good time. They are also having, next Tuesday, they're having COSAM for the science panel on, Science Cafe panel on Alzheimer's, pardon me. The students have been really happy with the addition of Well-Read to the City of Auburn, not only for its collaboration with student organizations, but also for its collaborations with the university itself. We received a lot of feedback that the student body really enjoys small businesses that focus on community and inclusiveness in their business model. But overall, it's been a really big time of the year for fall-themed picnics and festivals. Weagle Radio and Emerge had their picnic on the plains last Thursday. This Thursday, UPC is having their fall festival on the campus green. On Friday, UPC is going to have the Battle of the Bands, a friendly competition between local bands for a spot to open up at the Wardam Coffee Jam. Within SGA, last night we met with campus dining officials, talking with them in the Edge and try to increase some of the diversity. Everyone goes to Chick-fil-A. We're trying to get new, cool options outside of that people can go expand on. Heyday is coming up October 18th. Our Heyday team has been working with local businessmen downtown and businesswomen, of course, to hand out name tags, trying to get that Auburn tradition spread out to the businesses as well. And within my branch of the SGA, the External Affairs team has been hard at work preparing for our next voter registration drive. I touched on it a little bit last week. We had over 100 people at the last one. We have one on Thursday and on Friday this week that we're looking to expand on. But other than that, that's all for me. War Eagle.
War Eagle, thank you. Okay, citizens communications on the items on tonight's agenda. If you'd like to speak to the city council about anything on tonight's agenda, please come forward and give us your name and address for the record, and you'll have 5 minutes. There are no public hearings tonight, so if you would like to address anything on the agenda, now would be the time to come forward and do that. Okay, seeing no one, city manager's communications.
Under City Manager's Communications this evening, we have the announcement of 2 vacancies on the Parks and Recreation Advisory Board. Terms begin December 1st and end November 30th, 2027. The appointments will be made at the November 7th meeting, and applications will open on our website tomorrow. Our first item of business is the consent agenda. Does any council member wish to remove an item from the consent agenda and deal with that item individually?
Yes, I do.
Please.
Item 8D1 and 2.
Okay, 8D1 and 2. Anyone else?
8D3, please.
8D3. 8D1, 8D2, 8D3. Anything else?
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, sir.
I would like to remove item 8, Delta 5, and 7.
Okay.
Almost got them off. Somebody will take 6. We can get them all off here,
All the odd
guys.
numbers there.
Okay, Mr. Mayor, I'll get
Nobody goes home early.
All right.
All right, item 8D1 authorizes a development agreement with 68V Preserve LLC for the Preserve Phases 6 and 7.
move for approval.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Ms. Whitten?
Yes, there are just some questions from the neighbors close to these phases, and if we could clarify a couple of items. One, the it notes in here that the developer shall approve the master plan, and can we just clarify if the master plan is the original, or has that been, what is the date of the most recent master plan? Do we have that?
Well, there's 2 different things relative to a master plan. There's, I think it's Exhibit C that's with the agreement, which is just the printed version of the phases, and then there is the 2017 written master development plan. And so the master development plan, what is the question though relative to that? This doesn't have much to do with the development agreement. So I think one of the important things, development agreements are separate and apart from zoning related actions. So sometimes we put things in the development agreement as a reminder, but the teeth in them come with regard to zoning ordinance enforcement thereof. And so is there a specific question relative to action on the development agreement or master development plan you would like?
Yes, on the master plan, it notes several amenities, and I think the residents are curious as to when those amenities may come to fruition, if they do.
If I may, just one quick thing is 68 Ventures or 68V, as it is noted in here, is new to the table with the preserve development and has been working feverishly with staff to get some things in order and to move forward. And one of the things is the residents of the preserve are trying to establish a homeowners association, if I understand properly, and we're trying to get them in direct contact. Scott Cummings, our executive director of development services, has been working on that so that they can have dialogue about their direct concerns, and there's willingness on all parties to do that. But I'll have Kevin Howard, our interim planning director, talk a little bit about timing with the amenities, because this has also come up with Woodward Oaks. While we're not here to talk about this tonight, I think a lot of you have had questions about what are the triggers and when. Mr. Howard?
Yes, so when it comes to amenities, I'll say outside of what our standard development requirements would be, so certainly sidewalks, that's something that, paved roads, that's something that's required as part of the development. That has to be done as it's built out. Other amenities such as walking trails, mountain bike trails, pools, whatever it might be, those sorts of things do not have to be built out by a certain date, just by the end of the entire project being completed. So, if there were a possible scenario where someone identified in their master development plan after phase 1 or by a certain date or after X number of homes, we will build these things, we would have some teeth to it then, and obviously actions would need to be taken at that point, but their master development plan does not speak to any sort of thresholds during the development process as to when some of these amenities might come on. So as far as the zoning enforcement of it, it would just be looked at the very end of the project.
Okay, thank you.
I would say, based on concerns raised here, and there's a lot, this is one of our earliest plan development districts. I think we'll be looking more, as you have had questions about whether or not you condition PDDs on plan development districts on certain timing of amenities, because this seems to be cropping up. In this instance, though, 68 Venture has been great to work with to date. They haven't had the opportunity to speak to this yet, and they're more than willing. There is a representative here tonight if you have questions about that.
Great, yeah, I do appreciate that there's been open communication with them, and I think one of the issues with the residents on former developers who've had control of the HOA, there's been a lack of communication. I'm not saying no communication, but a lack thereof. So I would encourage that 68 Ventures and D.R. Horton, have a really strong relationship with the residents in the HOA that they're wanting to convey. Additionally, there was a question about the location of a future roundabout at Conservation and Farmville. And I know this development agreement is what they would contribute, and does it also, I think it also indicates that they would be responsible for the build-out?
Absolutely. So that's been one of the things that 68 Ventures is the first group we've worked with on this. And we've been working on the roundabout there since I was Development Services Executive Director in 2018, trying to get this negotiated. So it's been 5 years. And the city has refused to build the roundabout as warranted by a traffic study. We wanted the development group to do it, and 68 Ventures has been willing to figure this out with us. I can have the city engineer speak to, the question is, why is it at Conservation and
Not Red Tail.
and Red Tail, not Red Tail?
That was the recommendation from the traffic impact study. If you're looking at the master plan, Conservation Drive is somewhat isolated from the remainder of development. It will be connected via a bridge at Phase 5 and Phase 6, but you'll have a lot of traffic generated from that side.
Okay. And then this also triggers the widening of Farmville at Conservation to North Donahue, correct? Is that?
So there are triggers. This is where, like a number of developments in the area, the city is collecting funds for the eventual widening of Farmville, improvements at Farmville and Donahue itself. And these are all tied back to traffic studies, and then they're paid at the time of the building permitting on a per lot basis.
Okay. And there are quite a few lots, so this may take some time, and we may do it before their lots are built out.
Absolutely. And, just to remind everybody, these go into a fund for those specific projects. We can't use those funds for any other projects. They must go for Donahue or Farmville or for the intersection. But the city may move forward on these projects before we receive funding from all the developments on it, and therefore just kind of reimbursing ourselves. We also never were these roads going to be entirely funded by these developments. The city was always going to have a portion of that, but what portion that is, inflation, construction costs, so on, determine that at the time.
Great, thank you.
Any other questions or comments regarding this item?
Just one comment. Just reviewing this project, it became obvious how much time has gone into analyzing the infrastructure to support this. I was amazed at the amount of time the amount of effort that was dedicated to the sewer, to the roads, to, I'm missing something here, but it was just amazing. And I want to bring that up and applaud the city for the depth and the time and the length of time that has gone into this.
I appreciate that. I think one of the important things that our citizens understand, and it's long been an expectation of our governing body as we've opened up other areas for development, is that the citizens of Auburn are not paying for the sewer lines to be built in this location. Sometimes we do pay for upgrades because we want a larger overall sewer mains to serve eventual development, but we do not pay for the baselines themselves, nor the water or other things. They pay for this same that you're hearing about Farmville and Donahue and so on. And these are not impact fees. Those are illegal in Alabama unless the legislature gives you a reason to do so. So our staff's been innovative, but I think it's important because people often feel like they're funding development in other parts of the city, and we've been very diligent, to do the best we can within the confines of the law to get these developments to pay their share, or most of it.
Ms. Crouch, when was the first home built in the preserve?
My gosh. So in the 2004, 5, 6 range, we were dealing with sewer, and, that was a force main and big lift stations and so on, so probably in that time range.
Okay.
I don't remember exactly, but somewhere thereabout.
Okay, good. Any other questions, comments from the council? All right, we have a motion second. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
All right. Item 8D2 authorizes a 2-year agreement with Care Humane Society for animal sheltering services. The contract amount for fiscal year 2024 is $187,467. The amount for fiscal year 2025 will be determined once 2024 numbers come in, and you will vote on that again next year for the actual dollar amount.
Move for approval.
Second.
Have a motion second. Ms. Whitten?
So a couple of things. One, I wanted to just, make the public aware that Care Humane Society is formerly Lee County Humane Society. They just launched a new name, so I didn't want people to think that we were working with a second Humane Society.
And having a ribbon cutting next week, I think.
Perfect.
Yep.
And then I know this amount is based off of previous sheltering services. Do we know how many intakes that they had for this
Go ahead,
amount of money?
Katrina.
Yes, we had 991 intakes.
Okay. And do we know if that's up or down or in line with past couple of years?
It is actually a little bit down. Last year, our amount was a little bit higher. So next year, we'll be able to determine by what is turned in and what is accepted. Just a reminder, this is not just from our animal control officers that are submitting animals. This is also from the general public that lives in the city of Auburn. So we pay for all of those animals, cats and dogs.
Perfect. And then since we have a 2-year contract, and this is the second year, when we move into a budget that is potentially a 1-year budget, will we only execute a 1-year contract? Or is it,
I think we're fine to execute a 2-year. 'cause
Yes, we can do
yeah.
2-year, but what this is actually, and Katrina, correct me if I'm wrong, this will come back for 25
Yes.
because of the amount.
Right.
Yeah,
Because we don't know the amount.
We
so.
can explain. Katrina, you want to
Yeah.
explain why we do a 2-year contract? Because I had the very same question.
Yes, we do the 2-year contract because this year we're paying for last year's services. And then depending on their intake, what happens, sometimes you have a pandemic that you have to deal with. So we have a lot of things that we work through in order to get this number.
great, thank you.
Correction, the ribbon cutting's tomorrow at 10 o'clock, right?
Correct.
Thank you. Anybody else have a comment or question? What a great asset this organization is to our community. They do a great job. Thank you for your work with their partnership. All right, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Item 8D3 authorizes the purchase of one 2023 Bobcat compact track loader with mulcher from Clark Equipment Company doing business as Bobcat Company for the Water Resource Management Department in the amount of $139,198.28.
Move for approval.
Second.
A motion is second. Mr. Griswold, I believe this one was you.
It is. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I just have a question again about solicitation processes. When we put something on the street, says, we need an item, a piece of equipment, for example, do we put out that we need a piece of equipment that will do the following things, a set of requirements? Or do we put out a solicitation that says, we need a Bobcat T86, T4, whatever. I mean, do we ask for a specific piece of equipment, or do we ask for something that satisfies the requirement?
So when a department, one, they budget a specific piece of equipment, usually with specific features, as is this case. You're going to end up with 3 or 4 staff members possibly answering. First, I would like our Executive Director of Public Services, Keith Williams, to just talk about when departments are vetting equipment, they know the features that they want. So there's that. So it is specific, and sometimes it may be specific to a manufacturer. Sometimes it has to do with contractual or supply chain issues, but I'll have Mr. Williams address that piece of it.
Sure, thank you, City Manager. Yes, when a department is basically doing the budget process and looking to procure some form of capital outlay, it's not necessarily always a brand specific, but it is a need specific. So they might be looking, for example, in this case, a small skid steer that has certain features, and then they will then look at the vendors that provide those, whether it be different brands or not, and then also research whether those would be available in some form of purchasing co-op or through state contract, or whether then the opportunity exists to hard bid it instead.
So the initial solicitation is based on a set of requirements?
Correct,
Or
correct.
the initial survey, perhaps?
That is
based on a set of
correct. It's
requirements?
based on the need of the department.
And
So
then
we look
they-
at the needs and then work backwards into the equipment that's
Okay,
going to be looked
that
for.
answers my question.
Okay, you're good.
I'm good. Yeah,
Yep,
thank you.
no, there's a lot that goes into this, and no worries about asking these questions. These are things we need to get resolved for you, but I want you to know there's always a method to the madness.
Any other questions or comments from the council? All right, we have a motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? The motion carries.
Item 8D5 authorizes the purchase of an Intermat IM vertical carousel system for tire storage from Cardex Remster LLC for the Environmental Services Department in the amount of $154,313.58.
Move for approval.
All right, got a motion and a second. Mr. Mormon?
Yes, sir. I exercised a bit of skepticism on this item, which is essentially a storage and retrieval system for tires. And $154,000 is a lot of money. I gained a lot of insight from the city manager in the last few days on this, and I understand better that the justification is more about square footage, storage space, and the warehouse, as well as a labor-saving and time-saving device. So I'm much in alignment with the need, and so it took me a while, but I'm there.
All right, thank you.
Any other comments or questions from the council?
Does it also provide a more safe environment when dealing with the way that they're loaded in and removed?
Absolutely. One of the things in the Environmental Services Department, because we're doing trash, garbage, recycling, fleet maintenance, that's one of our department that does a lot of lifting. And one of the last things, these are the biggest tires we want is people lifting these things. So it does that also from a fire safety standpoint. We don't want to spread tires any further out in a warehouse than we can. The vertical storage really helps. I've been around when a tire storage warehouse has caught on fire, and it's like black soot in the city for 4 days. But this is specifically our building official will tell you specifically to sprinkler around this is a much safer thing to do also. But it's saving the employees. It's also helping us with just-in-time inventory and many other aspects as we do this. We will probably come back to you. These were value engineered out during when we rebid this building. They were originally in the overall project. Eventually, we'll look at a small tire carousel, but this is a cost savings measure right now that will come back in a different fiscal year and look at that. And we also want to see how this one is fully functioning before we do that.
Any other comments or questions? Okay. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And the motion carries.
Item 8D7 authorizes the purchase of one Autel Dragonfish drone for the police department in the amount of $131,675.
Move for approval.
Second.
All right, have a motion and a second. Mr. Mormon?
Yes, sir. I understand this is a very, very sophisticated piece of equipment, and it takes lots of training hours to fly it, and the people that fly it are selected as special duty. And our drones are only deployed in emergency situations, as it turns out. I didn't want any citizens to be concerned that they're just up there flying all the time and looking down on us.
I I can't answer that that's the case. There are times that police are going to use drones for things that we can't publicly speak about for investigative reasons. So I don't want anybody to leave here thinking that that doesn't happen. That's always a possibility.
But they'll be used in accordance with the Constitution of the United States of America.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, they will, but that does happen, meaning all over the world. So
But the flying time is 2 hours, so they're not just going to be patrolling the skies on a.
flying time is 2 hours. You can change it out and put it back in the air. We have the ability to deploy our drones that are lasting 15 minutes a battery right now in the air while we swap this one out. One of our challenges has been the best example and typically used is you have a small child, and not saying this has happened in Auburn, this is an example, who gets lost in a heavily wooded area. We've got dogs and personnel on the ground, but we're also in the air with the most sophisticated equipment we have trying to find that person. And other scenarios, we get people loose in the woods. There's vehicles to follow. There's other things. And yes, we talked about game day traffic we deploy them for. We looked at Woodland Pines Elementary School traffic where we get a drone up over to see what's happening as that school owned. So yes, by and large, the deployment is routine matters, but there are investigative matters in which they could be utilized. Constitutionally, of course, to Chief Dawson's point. Yes, 100%.
And we're behind the ball just now getting this piece of equipment. We should have had this years ago, a few years ago. So I'm very happy that we voted to buy this for the police department, and I think it'll go a long ways in protecting our citizens.
If I may say, also, we've looked at partnering on a helicopter, and one of the things that we're trying to do with this drone is to not have to partner on a helicopter with other agencies just yet. Is that correct, Public Safety Director Matthews?
Yes, that's correct. Using a traditional helicopter platform is very expensive. You're having to staff pilots, source parts for the aircraft, then the fuel, the aviation fuel, insurance. This is a much less expensive, effective tool that we can offset some of those uses for.
Even your larger cities are using these now, aren't they?
That's correct.
Larger cities, FBI, you name it, yes. Very commonly deployed. This one also can fly very fast. And there's a big deal is we can have personnel in this building. It has a long range, fly it from this building. They don't have to be standing out in the field, but it also can follow cars at a fairly high rate of speed to make it safer where we don't have units as close if we don't have to.
Can you speak to the length of the training program?
Mr. Matthews?
Yes, so the quote that we've received from RMUS includes a 3-day in-person training from the manufacturer. Now, our pilots go through a different training program. They're all certified FAA pilots for unmanned aircraft. And, you know, we have a selection process in place where those that are interested in becoming an unmanned aircraft pilot go through that selection process, and then it's a pretty rigorous testing through the FAA to get their license. But we have some very qualified personnel that are on staff already that are interested in doing this, including a National Guard member who's a military unmanned aircraft pilot and a recent graduate from an aerospace program. So
We also have quite a bit of insurance on this drone as well, yes.
Any other
Yeah, it's probably one of the best insured pieces of equipment we'll have at the city, so, yes.
Got two questions, please. First off, what kind of warranty is on this thing?
Mr. Matthews?
Not specified.
yeah, I believe it's just a 1-year warranty for parts, you know, manufacturer's warranty.
Okay. And which division within the public safety department is going to have ownership of this? Is it going to be patrol division, or detectives, or what?
The police department will own it, and the patrol division utilizes it the most, but we have pilots that are within different divisions that can fly it. So currently our managing pilot is in the patrol division.
Also would say too that we share drones among departments. Why another department wouldn't fly it if it's needed for a different city purpose and available, it will be utilized for other city purposes as well. And the city engineer has a little bit of an interest in it. I can see her looking at it over there, but it's, we do share across the board, so I don't want you to think that 4 of these are gonna show up, but this has some video style capabilities that are a little bit stronger than some of our other units, and we can keep it up longer. So it may be used at times for other things.
You just said 4.
No.
It's just one, right?
Just one. I was joking, you're not gonna see 4 of these coming from other departments. This is,
Okay.
yeah, just one for police department.
Any other questions, comments? Okay, we have motion second. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Resolutions.
Balance of the consent.
Oh, that's right, we still have a few things we didn't pull off. Is there a motion to approve the balance of the consent agenda?
So moved. Second.
All right, I have a motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And the motion carries.
Under resolutions this evening, item 10A authorizes a contract with Schmidt Environmental Construction Incorporated for the H.C. Morgan Clarifiers 1 and 2 weirs and baffles replacement project in the amount of $1,574,000.
Move for approval.
Second.
I have a motion second. Any comments or questions from the council? All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries.
Item 10B authorizes a tax abatement for Latte Chemical Alabama Corp. located at 765 West Veterans Boulevard. The company is purchasing additional equipment and plans to invest $3.75 million and hire 5 additional employees.
Move for approval.
Second.
Motion second. Any comments or questions? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Under other business, item 11A is a request from Cafe Duval LLC doing business as the corner office for a special retail alcohol beverage license for property located at 540 Duval Drive, Suites 102 and 103. This license request replaces the license approved by the City Council at the September 5th meeting.
Move for approval.
Second.
Motion is second. Any comments or questions? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Those are all the items of business we have for you this evening.
Okay. At this time, we'll open up Citizens Open Forum. It's your opportunity to talk to the council about anything that might be on your mind. Please come forward and give us your name and address for the record, and you'll have 3 minutes. We ask that your comments be of decorum and to be positive, and do not call any individual out by name. Okay? Who will be first? Yes, sir.
I'm Steve Cosgrove, 1927 Watercress Drive in Ashton Park. I just came to touch base with you and say hello. I've missed seeing you and touching base with you. I'm always amazed, by the way, with the magnitude of the important work that you do, and I really mean that. Not an ounce of facetiousness in what I'm saying. Auburn isn't a megalopolis, but it's a complex organization. Not complicated. Complicated has a negative tinge to it, to me, but it's complex. And you all, in your bi-monthly or bi-weekly, whatever the proper work term is, agenda and your dialogue and your commitment and so forth is always just amazing to me. I don't know how you do it. I really, really don't.
We have a great staff. We have a great staff.
Well, you sure do. You sure do. But I just really wanted to touch base with you. Will, I think you do an outstanding job with the police division and the fire division. Every time I see one of those gentlemen or ladies, I let them know how much I really appreciate their service to this community and to our country, in essence. You do a great job of leading that. Tommy, it's Chief Tommy. It's always going to be Chief Tommy to me. Haven't seen you to talk to you in a long time. I hope your sweet mother's doing well.
Thank you, sir.
Max, you doing fine? Yeah, Bob? Yeah, Sonny? Haven't run into you at the lunch place lately. But Tyler, everything's going good. Miss Beth, you pass our corner all the time.
Every morning.
We got a lot going on there, don't we?
Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
Kelly and Miss Connie, yeah. Megan, you do a great job too of managing things, keeping things going. Ron, you do an outstanding job as mayor. It was one year ago today that we had this faux, I think that's the word y'all use, the faux dedication at Felton Little Park. It was October 3rd, 2022. I was thinking about that the other day. Actually, I drove by there and just admired that little marker. But I still got some other things I'd like to, accomplished with that is that, by the way, just so you know, the gravity of things, the work on that marker and the whole bronze plaque thing took approximately 2% of my time and effort on that. The other 98+% is addressed in these little packets that I'm going to give you here. There's 4 pages in here, and I'm just going to very simply ask you, will you please take time to read the 4 pages? I'm just asking you if you do that. And when you do, whenever it fits for you, if you'd like to, just let me know what you think. That's all I'd ask. And but anyway, I really appreciate everything you do, and I'm going to hand these to Miss Megan.
Thank you.
And again, thank you very much.
Thank you.
That's fine. Okay.
Who'll be next?
You ready?
Mr. Cosgrove. Mr. Cosgrove, we need to keep going. Thank you, sir.
He's just complimenting. He's
He
full of
is.
compliments. Okay, good evening, everyone. I'm Letitia Smith. I reside at 2262 Heritage Ridge Lane in Auburn, and I am the president of the Lee County Branch 5038 NAACP. On September 6th, I came before you to speak on behalf of the residents of Webster Crossings Mobile Home Park. Some of them were with me that night, many were not, and many didn't feel comfortable, as I shared earlier, for an alleged fear of retaliation. I shared with you at that time that I had a list of 13 individuals who were comfortable enough to share their information with me. Since that time, I wanted to share that I now have 3 additional written complaints. I have 5 detailed complaints via the JOT form that the NAACP sent out soliciting information. And in this past week, in my absence at the state convention, there was a detailed account of a complaint that was shared with the state housing chair of the NAACP, and I expect to get a complaint on that later this week. But the reason why I am detailing all of this is because I want to put it on the record that I'm not making this up. This information is being freely presented to me on behalf of the NAACP, and these alleged complaints are real. I also want you to know that I'm not making this up. Yes, I am passionate. I'm not blowing this out of proportion. I am not practicing defamation. And the fact of the matter that defamation is being thrown around is actually kind of offensive to me. But defamation in the state of Alabama, it varies in different laws. But at the end of the day, you have to prove that I am defaming someone. But I really just want you to know this, that these people are just hardworking people, and they are not solely out to damage anyone's reputation. When I'm reading these accounts of what they're sharing with me, these people have pain. These people are feeling frustrated. These people, as my grandmother used to say, are just sick and tired of being sick and tired. All they want to do is just live just like you and I are living in a thriving and healthy community. So I also want to put on the record that we are not here to support people that don't want to pay their rent. We're not here to support people who are looking for a free ride. That is not what we are here to do. So what I want you to do is, I hear that, some of you, I thought we were going to work as a group. I hear that we were going to come to the table. Some of you might not be comfortable in speaking with me anymore because I may have made someone mad. That's okay. But I challenge you, please listen to your constituents. Please listen. Hear what they have to say. I will give you all of the information that they have shared with me. Make your own decision. Listen to both sides of the story. When you see something, you say something. And that is what I am trying to do. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ms. Smith. After we close citizens' communications, I do have a response for you, okay? But I'll wait till then. Anyone else like to speak tonight? Anyone? Okay, we're going to close citizens' communications. Since the last meeting, I have been involved in 2 different conversations with the owners of Webster's Crossing. We, through the city manager's help, we set up 2 different virtual meetings through Zoom The first meeting, myself and the city manager and Ms. Taylor were involved with. And then the second one, which happened yesterday afternoon, our state representative that represents the Webster's Crossing area, Ms. Pebblin Warren, who's joining us here tonight, and our county commissioner, Richard LeGrand, who represents that area, joined us as well. And so we really just kind of recreated what we did earlier yesterday afternoon. I would tell you right now that we have not gathered together after those two meetings to talk about what we've heard and what are opportunities and actions that we possibly could take and where are we. I would just ask your patience. We had a council meeting today. That's a lot on everybody, especially the city manager, for time and effort. But we will be doing that soon and considering, is there a pathway to the future? I would say that the owners, just in characterization, were very available. The first meeting was an hour and 45 minutes. The second meeting was a little over an hour. They were very forthright. They answered every question that was posed to them, and they verbally said that they are committed to providing affordable housing in this community. So there's still more to talk about and more to work through, and we will be getting on that here in the next couple of days. Ms. Taylor, is there anything you'd like to say in follow-up to that?
No, but I did, during both meetings that we had, and I listened, I've heard both sides of the story. And from the meeting we had, I think we're working toward some type of resolution to the issues in Webster Crossing. And at the end of the day, I hope we come up with something that everybody can agree upon, everybody can live decently. And so I want to thank Megan and Ron, the mayor, for setting up this and setting up both of the meetings. And like he said, they make themselves available. They didn't have to, but they did. And so they was willing to sit down. There was a lot of questions asked. So I basically asked a lot of questions because I've been involved in it for a while. So I'm at this time, we're gonna give them a little of the benefit of the doubt so that they can work on some of the issues that was brought before them in those meetings. So I just want to thank y'all again for actually having that. And actually, they've agreed if we need to have another meeting, in the future, to accommodate us on that one too. So.
All right.
Mayor, if I may, though, I
Please.
would like to report the one component where we did have a role that the city could play directly was about the condition of the roads and where we were with how passable they are for emergency vehicles, et cetera. And as of last Friday, correct me, Mr. Hoare, if I'm incorrect, we have been working with them for some time. Everything with Crusher Run was filled in to our satisfaction. They did not have fully paved roads out there, but the roads are paved from a health, safety, welfare, emergency access standpoint. The crush and run is laid down and the holes are filled in at this time. We will continue to monitor, especially once we have rain events.
Okay.
Let me
Please.
just say this. And I also want to, be very transparent. So I also want to share some of the information with the tenants out there. So during my next ward meeting, I plan on having a meeting and maybe discuss some of the issues and talks that we had during these sessions. And I'm inviting the city manager, the mayor, Ms. Warren, and anyone else that want to join in so that we all can be on the same page and that we can come to some type of resolution.
Anyone else have anything from council? Okay, is there a move to adjourn?
So moved.
We're adjourned.